Hey guys, it's Evan here, and welcome back to another video. And today, try my hand at something a little bit different. This is not about cosplay. This is actually going to be about reporting on news, like Spider-Man news, nerd news, that kind of stuff. Just want to try my hand at this, do something a little bit different, you know, fill up you guys with content. Anyways, this video is going to be on some apparent leaked information on the Spider-Man PS4 sequel. Now, obviously, don't know how accurate this is, but you know what, it's always fun to speculate if any of this turns out to be true. Hey, it's a fun little thing to report. Alright, so I'm going to obviously link this article down in the description below. It's from Cosmic Book News. Writer is Matt McGloin. You know, obviously, I don't know how accurate this is, but it's fun to speculate. So the first kind of big points that this article brings up is that it will have a holiday 2021 release date, most likely in September, like the first game. Hopefully there will be a reveal coming this summer. It'll be a single-player game just like the first one, so apparently no online co-op, no co-op, anything like that. The game will add on Queens and Brooklyn to the map, which basically apparently you get just the original New York map and then you get kind of those extra areas. So that actually kind of reminds me of the Ultimate Spider-Man game that I played back on, it was a GameCube and original Xbox. And, you know, obviously having those areas will be a lot of fun to play around in. Apparently it will also feature some new swinging mechanics to compensate for the lower buildings of Queens and Brooklyn. The game is set during winter, where Peter is apparently still mourning over the death of Aunt May, and then Peter and MJ seemingly live together, but MJ is away for the entire first act of the story. This is actually something that I was hoping would happen. If you play the DLCs for the game, and the last one, it actually references MJ going away to cover the war that is happening in Symkaria. So yeah, it's cool that they are actually following up on that, and it's not just a throwaway line that they completely forget about for the sequel. They were considering things going into the actual sequel itself. Alright, now apparently Oscorp is attempting to work on some sort of cloning in this sequel. The leaker also says that Harry Osborn will become Venom. Apparently it's a unique take on the character and the story. Now, funny thing is, not entirely original. They actually did have Harry become Venom in a way in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. Hopefully they will pull this off a little bit better than it did in that cartoon. But you know what, I think Harry being Venom, you know, thanks to that post-credit scene, we all knew that this was going to be happening. I know it's a little bit, people have varying opinions on that just because people don't like it when Venom gets really messed with outside of the original, you know, setup for his story. But me personally, Insomniac pulled off a really good story for the first game, really original story, especially the way they tackled the Sinister Six, and Otto and everything like that. So I think that, you know, I'm going to wait and see how they do Venom. I'm really excited to see how that gets pulled off. And according to this leak, Eddie Brock is still going to be involved with the story. Apparently he's going to be a major character. So we'll just see how that plays out. Luckily, our boy Eddie's still there. He'll hopefully still become the Venom that we know and love. We'll just have to wait and see. Also, supposedly, Carnage and Mysterio are going to be in this game. Now, Mysterio is actually one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. So I'm really happy to see him being brought into the game. There was that tease in the first game at the Halloween party level where there was the woman wearing the costume of him. It also says that Carnage is apparently going to be in the game, something to do with the Oscorp cloning and whatnot. You know what, I wouldn't be mad at it. Again, I'm going to wait to see how they pull it off. This is reminding me very much, though, of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 game, where you did fight Carnage as the final boss. Hopefully, you know, I like that game, but hopefully, you know, it doesn't tend to, like, you know, lean a little too much towards that. Then again, I feel like not too many people actually played that game, so hopefully not too many people will actually notice that similarity. Also, Miles Morales is going to be a playable character in sections of the game. Apparently they are unsure if we're going to get to free roam as him, but they haven't gotten rid of that idea entirely yet. They're still deciding if you will get to free roam as him. This I am extremely excited for. I am hoping that Miles, when you play him, he feels very different to Peter. Obviously Peter, he's been Spider-Man for years when you play him in the game. I want Miles where he's a newer character, he's very unsure with his powers, his swinging might feel a bit clunkier, and it would be a lot of fun if they really make his gameplay surrounded around the whole stealth aspect, stunning characters. You know, he can't take a lot of damage, he doesn't have a lot to his punches, but, you know, just really make his gameplay somehow feel different from when you're playing Peter. Let's see, Leaker also says that Oscorp plays a big part in the game. I feel like that was obvious. And then that Harry Osborn as Venom in the game will be unleashed. we'll see how that plays out. I would really like to see it if, you know, maybe there's like kind of that duality, like Harry comes back, Peter sees Harry, he's like, Harry, where have you been? And then you get to kind of like that whole thing where, you know, he's dealing with whatever monster is inside of him and he starts to lash out and stuff like that. And also apparently there will be new Spider-Man mechanics, as they kind of call it. It says apparently the game will feature a new web chain mechanic where Spider-Man can chain together different web zips, so kind of when you reach a point he immediately zips on to the next one. This sort of reminds me of Web Rush from the Amazing Spider-Man games. I would honestly be excited to see that. That was a really, really cool feature of that game. Where, you know, you really got to feel like you were chaining together all this different stuff, and I think the way that Insomniac does their movement, especially the Spider-Man in the first game, adding this on, adding a similar system as, like, what the Web Rush was, that could be so much fun to really, like, bring new life to their already awesome swinging. And speaking of the swinging, this article claims that the web swinging has been entirely overhauled. There's way more animations, apparently, way more variety. They have 2 animators that are entirely devoted to making the swinging and animations just brand new and feel updated for this entire process. And apparently, this one I'm really excited about. There's going to be 3 swinging modes apparently, which are called Realistic, Arcade, and then Hybrid. These names are not finalized, they're just work in progress names. Realistic, it's apparently very physics-based. Arcade has feels a little fake with some assistance. And then the hybrid mode is a merge of the 2, which is basically the first game swinging. Anyways, my final thoughts on all of this. Obviously, I'm not sure if any of this is real. This could all be just complete BS. But really, if any of it is true, I'm pretty excited for it. I think my biggest thoughts about the new game is obviously we need somewhere new to go. So obviously that'll be Queens and Brooklyn. And the way that, you know, Insomniac really built their New York City, it really feels kind of alive and big, and like there's stuff to explore. I'm still kind of finding bits and pieces around that city as I play this game, like, what is it, a year and a half later almost. And then getting to go and explore Queens and Brooklyn, you know, it's a much smaller scale in terms of the heights of the buildings, and just seeing how they incorporate these new web swinging mechanics so you can really traverse these smaller buildings, that's going to be exciting to see. And of course, playable Miles Morales, that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping he feels much more different to Spider-Man. And just overall, the take on the story with Venom. It's going to be interesting to see how they pull it off. I think that in the first game, they really did hint at that's where their story's going to go. There are some interviews where people ask, why isn't there a symbiote suit put into the game as an alternate costume? And the game director, Brian Inahar, was basically like, yeah, well, you know, that's a different story to tell. I think that's really why there was no symbiote as an alternate suit, because they are saving that for the sequel. Anyways, everybody, let me know what you think. Do you like me reporting on these kind of, like, you know, game updates, not just cosplay, but bringing you guys different content? If you guys want to see more, I will obviously report on more articles as these things come out. I am really, really excited for this game, and I really want to try to get into bringing this kind of content, because this is a video game character that I'm really passionate about, game I'm really passionate about, and I just, you know, I want to report on this stuff as it comes out. And of course, link down there, description below. If you like stuff like this, remember to comment, thumbs up this video, subscribe if you haven't for more stuff. And given the whole current situation in the world, don't forget to be washing those hands, practicing social distancing, all that jazz. Remember to stay frosty, stay safe. I'll see you all in the next video.